The lost code of the Essenes. The 4 rules that represented their life and relationship with the Maker. Welcome, dear friends, welcome to the news channel where you can find various information from all fields. Support this channel by simply clicking on the subscribe button. The Essenes were a Jewish sect that flourished around the 2nd century BCE to the 1st century CE. Renowned for their ascetic lifestyle and deep spirituality, they lived in secluded communities, most famously near the Dead Sea, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. These ancient texts provide a window into their beliefs, practices, and the spiritual code that guided their lives. This article explores the 4 cardinal rules that encapsulated their relationship with the divine and dictated every aspect of their existence. Through these principles, the Essenes sought to connect with what they believed was the true essence of life, their Maker. The historical context of the Essenes. The Essenes emerged during a tumultuous period in Jewish history. The Hasmonean dynasty had established control over Judea, but their reign was marked by internal strife, religious corruption, and foreign influence. This environment led to the rise of several Jewish sects, including the Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes. Unlike the Pharisees and Sadducees, who were more politically involved, the Essenes chose a path of seclusion. They withdrew from the world, believing that only through separation could they maintain purity and a direct connection with God. The Essene community, structure and daily life. Life in the Essene community was characterized by discipline, simplicity, and communal living. They shared everything in common, from food to possessions, and followed a strict schedule of prayer, work, and study. The community was hierarchical, with a council of elders overseeing spiritual and practical matters. Novices underwent a rigorous probation period before being fully integrated, reflecting the seriousness with which the Essenes approached their commitment to the community and their code of life. The 4 rules, an overview. The Essene way of life was governed by 4 fundamental rules that shaped their relationship with the Maker. These rules were not just guidelines, but were considered divine laws that needed to be followed meticulously. They encompassed purity, humility, charity, and truth, principles that were seen as the foundation of spiritual enlightenment and closeness to God. Each rule was interwoven with the others, creating a comprehensive code that dictated every aspect of life for the Essenes. Purity, the path to spiritual cleansing. The concept of purity was central to the Essenes' spiritual practice. They believed that physical and spiritual cleanliness were interconnected, and that impurity of any kind could disrupt one's connection with the divine. Daily rituals, such as bathing in mikvahs, ritual baths, were practiced to maintain this purity. The Essenes also adhered to strict dietary laws, abstaining from certain foods that they believed could defile the body and soul. Their commitment to purity was reflected in their communal life, where even thoughts were considered potent and had to be kept free from corruption. Humility, recognizing the sovereignty of the divine. Humility was another cornerstone of the Essene code. They believed that pride and ego were the greatest barriers to a true relationship with the Maker. In their community, no one was considered greater than another, and all were equal before God. This humility was expressed through their modest dress, their refusal to accumulate wealth, and their focus on serving others. The Essenes saw themselves as vessels for God's will, and they strove to diminish their own desires and ambitions to make room for divine inspiration. Charity, the practice of selflessness. Charity, in the Essene tradition, extended beyond mere almsgiving. It was a practice of selflessness that permeated every aspect of their lives. The Essenes believed that by caring for others, they were directly serving God. This was evident in their communal lifestyle, where resources were pooled and distributed according to need. They also took care of the sick and the poor, seeing this as a divine duty. For the Essenes, charity was a way to transcend the self and align more closely with the Creator's benevolent nature. Truth, the foundation of righteous living. Truth was regarded as the bedrock of the Essenes' spiritual life. They believed that living in truth was essential for maintaining a pure heart and mind. This commitment to truth was evident in their strict adherence to their laws and teachings, which they believed were divinely inspired. Falsehood, in any form, was seen as a grave sin that could sever one's connection with God. The Essenes' pursuit of truth extended to their study of scripture and their interpretation of divine will, which they approached with utmost seriousness and reverence. The role of prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation were integral to the Essenes' daily routine. They believed that these practices were essential for maintaining their connection with the divine. Their prayers were often communal, reflecting their belief in the power of collective worship. Meditation, on the other hand, was a personal practice that allowed individuals to reflect on their spiritual progress and seek inner guidance. Through prayer and meditation, the Essenes sought to purify their thoughts and align their will with that of the Creator, the sacred scriptures, and the quest for wisdom. The Essenes were deeply committed to the study of sacred texts, which they believed contained the wisdom of the Creator. They regarded the Hebrew Bible as divinely inspired and spent much of their time copying and preserving these texts. In addition to the Hebrew Bible, the Essenes had their own writings, which included interpretations of scripture and mystical teachings. These texts provided guidance on how to live according to the four rules and were considered essential for anyone seeking a deeper understanding of the divine. The mystical practices of the Essenes. Mysticism played a significant role in the Essene tradition. They believed that through certain practices, such as fasting and meditation, one could attain a higher state of consciousness and experience the divine presence more directly. These mystical practices were not meant for everyone, they were reserved for those who had achieved a certain level of spiritual maturity. The Essenes viewed mysticism as a way to transcend the physical world and connect with the ultimate reality, the essence of the Maker. The Essene calendar and sacred time. The Essenes followed a unique calendar that was based on solar rather than lunar cycles, unlike the mainstream Jewish calendar. They believed that their calendar was the original one given by God and that it was essential for maintaining the proper timing of religious festivals. Sacred time was of great importance to the Essenes, and they meticulously observed the Sabbath and other holy days. These observances were seen as opportunities to renew their commitment to the four rules and to draw closer to the divine. The role of the Essene teacher of righteousness. The Essenes revered a figure known as the teacher of righteousness, who was believed to be a divinely inspired leader and prophet. This individual played a crucial role in shaping the community's beliefs and practices. The teacher of righteousness was seen as a model of how to live according to the four rules and was believed to have a unique connection with God. His teachings were highly respected and formed the basis of much of the Essene doctrine. The Essenes and the Dead Sea Scrolls. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 20th century provided invaluable insights into the life and beliefs of the Essenes. These ancient manuscripts include portions of the Hebrew Bible, as well as sectarian writings that reflect the Essene worldview. The scrolls have helped scholars understand the importance of the four rules in the daily life of the Essenes and have shed light on their interpretation of Scripture. They also reveal the community's messianic expectations and their belief in an impending divine intervention. The Essene Code and early Christianity. There is considerable scholarly debate about the influence of the Essene Code on early Christianity. Some scholars suggest that the teachings of Jesus and the practices of the early Christian community were influenced by Essene beliefs, particularly their emphasis on purity, humility, and charity. The communal lifestyle of the early Christians, as described in the Acts of the Apostles, bears striking similarities to that of the Essenes. While the exact nature of the connection remains unclear, it is evident that the Essenes played a significant role in the religious landscape of the time. The decline of the Essene community. The Essenes' strict adherence to their code and their separation from the broader society ultimately contributed to their decline. The Roman conquest of Judea and the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE led to the dispersal of many Jewish sects, including the Essenes. Without their communal structure and sacred spaces, the Essenes struggled to maintain their way of life. Over time, their numbers dwindled, and the community eventually faded from history. However, their legacy lives on through the Dead Sea Scrolls and the influence they may have had on other religious traditions. The legacy of the Essene Code. The Essene Code, particularly the Four Rules, continues to resonate with those who seek a deeper spiritual connection. The principles of purity, humility, charity, and truth are timeless values that can be found in many religious and philosophical traditions. The Essenes' commitment to these principles, despite the challenges they faced, is a testament to their faith and devotion. Today, their code serves as a reminder of the power of living a life aligned with spiritual values and the potential for achieving a profound connection with the divine. The relevance of the Essene Code in modern times. In today's fast-paced and often materialistic world, the Essene Code offers an alternative path, one that emphasizes simplicity, selflessness, and a deep connection with the divine. The 4 rules provide a framework for living a life that is in harmony with spiritual principles and that fosters a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Whether one is religious or not, the Essenes' emphasis on purity, humility, charity, and truth can serve as a guide for leading a more meaningful and purposeful life. The Essenes' contribution to spiritual thought. Contribution to spiritual thought extends beyond their own community. Their emphasis on living a life of purity, humility, charity, and truth has influenced various religious and philosophical traditions throughout history. By preserving and interpreting sacred texts, practicing communal living, and striving for spiritual enlightenment, the Essenes have left a lasting legacy. Their approach to spirituality offers valuable insights into the quest for divine connection and the pursuit of a righteous life. Conclusion. The Lost Code of the Essenes represents a profound and multifaceted approach to spirituality and daily living. The 4 rules, purity, humility, charity, and truth, formed the cornerstone of their relationship with the Maker and guided every aspect of their lives. Through their commitment to these principles, the Essenes sought to create a community that was deeply connected to the divine and to live in a way that reflected their highest spiritual aspirations. While their physical presence may have faded, their spiritual legacy endures, offering timeless lessons for those who seek to live a life of profound meaning and connection with the Creator.